A lot of men seem to think that Donald Trump is some kind of tough guy. He's not. I mean, look at him. He wears more makeup than Dolly Parton. He whines like a baby. The guy's afraid of birds.
Dave Bautista and Jimmy Kimmel don't agree on everything, but there's one thing they see eye to eye on: Donald Trump, and they're not holding back.
The thing that Donald Trump has ever done is divided this country. America will only be great if you vote for me. And that's bullshit. It's not making America great. It's making Donald Trump great. Vote for me so I can pardon myself, do anything I want, and get away with it. Just a regular guy. But when I look up the definition of narcissist...
Bautista, a former WWE champion turned Hollywood star, is calling Trump out for twisting America into his personal fan club, making everything about himself. Meanwhile, Kimmel, armed with his late-night mic, is turning Trump's words into comedy gold, exposing the absurdity with every joke.
Look at that gut. It's like a garbage bag full of buttermilk. He sells imaginary baseball cards pretending to be a cowboy fireman. Guy's barely strong enough to hold an umbrella.
From Trump's obsession with plastic straws to his bizarre rants, these two are making it clear they've had enough. But is it just entertainment, or are they trying to wake people up? Let's get into what they're really saying. Dave Bautista isn't the type to stay quiet, especially when it comes to Donald Trump. The former WWE champion and Hollywood actor didn't hold back during his appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, and he made sure his words hit hard. Bautista, known for playing tough guys on screen, took one look at Trump's carefully crafted image and called it what he believes it really is: a complete joke.
This is who people want running our country. Everything he loses is rigged. When he won in 2016, because he lost the popular vote was rigged. What a lying little bitch. The fact that he was convicted of 34 felonies, it was rigged. Guilty of fraud because...
He didn't just criticize Trump's policies, he went after the very thing Trump prides himself on: his so-called toughness. Bautista pointed out that real strength isn't about talking big or putting on a show. He mocked Trump's appearance, his obsession with looking powerful, and his constant need for attention. He wears more makeup than Dolly Parton, Bautista joked, making it clear he sees Trump's public persona as nothing more than an act. And that wasn't the only dig. He also called out Trump's well-documented fear of animals. The guy is afraid of birds, he said, laughing. It wasn't just about mocking Trump's phobias, it was about showing how the former president, who loves to act fearless, is actually scared of the smallest things.
Who knows?
Do you think he's a two-term president?
No.
No?
If he got voted in, if he lasts his full term, you know, I may grab my wife and my dogs and pack up and...
But Bautista wasn't just there to make jokes. He had a much bigger point to make. He slammed Trump for dodging the military draft, reminding people that while Trump talks tough now, he used his family's influence to avoid serving. Donald Trump had his daddy pay a doctor to say his little feet hurt so he could dodge the draft, Bautista said, highlighting what he sees as a major contradiction. How can someone claim to be a warrior for America when they ran from the chance to serve? For Bautista, this isn't just about the past. It's about exposing what he believes is Trump's pattern of avoiding responsibility while expecting others to fight his battles.
He's got jugs, big ones, like Dolly Parton. He cheats at golf. He creeps around beauty pageant dress. He pouts. He throws tantrums.
No, get those lights off!
He acts like a 5-year-old behind the wheel of a truck. He bends over for Putin. He's cattier on social media than a middle school bean girl. The guy needs help walking downhill. Almost there, Grandma.
Then came the real message. Bautista didn't just want to trash Trump. He wanted to wake people up. He called on men across America to stop buying into Trump's image of masculinity. Toughness, according to Bautista, isn't about yelling the loudest or attacking your enemies on social media. It's about showing real courage, taking responsibility, and standing up for what's right. And the best way to do that? Vote. He urged people not to let themselves be fooled by the show Trump puts on, saying it's time for Americans to stop being impressed by bravado and start demanding real leadership. With every word, Bautista made it clear. He's not afraid of Trump, and he's not going to stop speaking out.
That guy's name is Will Scharf, and thanks to him and our president, we can finally rekindle our long love affair with plastic straws.
We're going back to plastic straws. These things don't work. I've had them many times, and on occasion they break, they explode. If something's hot, they don't last very long, like a matter of minutes, sometimes a matter of seconds. It's a ridiculous situation.
Wait a minute, I'm with him on it not lasting very long, but they explode? His straws are exploding? How hard is he sucking?
Jimmy Kimmel has made a career out of making people laugh, but when it comes to Donald Trump, the jokes come with a serious message. In a recent Jimmy Kimmel Live monologue, Kimmel took 19 minutes, an eternity in late-night TV, to break down why he believes Americans need to rethink their support for Trump.
We're getting more details on what 4 more years of Trump might look like, courtesy of Trump himself. He sat for an interview with Time magazine where he laid out his priorities for a second term, and it's quite a his comp, I tell you. Trump says, all true, what I'm about to inform you. He says he would carry out a deportation operation to remove more than 11 million people from the country. He says he would use the military to build migrant detention camps. He would let red states monitor women's pregnancies and prosecute those who violate abortion bans. He would, at his personal discretion, withhold funds appropriated by Congress. He would fire any U.S. attorney who wouldn't carry out his order to prosecute. He's weighing pardons for everyone who attacked the Capitol January 6th. He said he might not come to the aid of an ally in Europe or Asia if he felt that country wasn't paying enough. He would gut the civil service. He would close the White House Pandemic Preparedness Office and staff his administration only with those who believe the election was stolen from him. And when they asked about dictatorship, he said, I think a lot of people like it. And he's on the cover of Time magazine. He should be on the cover of Doing Time magazine. That's Time's Maniac of the Year.
That this wasn't just another comedy bit, it was a direct plea, laced with humor but packed with urgency. Kimmel wasn't just roasting Trump. He was laying out what he sees as a dangerous pattern of nonsense, self-interest, and a total lack of real leadership. Kimmel wasn't just laughing at Trump's strange speeches, he was highlighting a bigger issue. He pointed out that for all the time Trump spends talking, he rarely says anything meaningful about actual problems facing Americans. No real healthcare plan, no clear economic strategy, no solutions, just complaints, personal attacks, and vague promises that never seem to materialize. Kimmel joked that Trump's campaign is basically just a list of his personal grievances, and instead of laying out policies, he's just trying to settle old scores. The message was clear. If people are going to vote for Trump again, they should at least know what they're signing up for.
Admittedly terrible paper straws in the first place is because plastic straws wind up in the ocean and they kill marine life, which I guess is another argument Trump, a well-known hater of sharks, doesn't buy.
I don't think that plastic's going to affect a shark very much as they're munching their way through the ocean. Okay.
Like Pac-Man, they're just munching their way through the ocean. That degree in marine biology is really coming in handy. Listen, the fact of the matter is Trump loves plastic. Most of his wives are made of plastic. We're going to have a lot of plastic.
Donald Trump has made a lot of questionable decisions, but somehow plastic straws became one of his biggest battles. While most of the world was moving toward paper straws to cut down on ocean pollution, Trump took a stand against paper. He made it a campaign talking point, even selling plastic straws with his name on them, proudly declaring, "Paper straws suck," his reasoning. According to him, paper straws fall apart too quickly, and plastic ones are just better. But here's the problem. Plastic straws don't just disappear. They clog oceans, harm marine life, and take hundreds of years to break down. Environmentalists have been fighting to reduce single-use plastics for years, and the paper straw movement was a small step in that direction. Instead of addressing real environmental concerns, Trump turned it into another culture war, painting paper straws as a symbol of liberal overreach. To him and his supporters, it wasn't about the environment, it was about fighting what they saw as unnecessary government control.
Speaking of sucking, Elon Musk was at Trump's side today. Elon took questions from the Oval Office with his son. He brought his son, R2 Musk, who is 4 years old. And as you can see, Trump was super excited to have the kid there.
What is the goal of Doge, and I think a significant part of the presidency is to restore democracy?
So much warmth, you know, it's like a grandfather. And look at Trump's orange, angry face next to heat white Elon Musk. It's like a Q-tip next to a traffic cone.
Critics argue that Trump's obsession with plastic straws is just another example of how he prioritizes personal branding over actual policy. His decision to bring back plastic wasn't based on science or environmental research. It was a political move. While countries around the world were tightening regulations on single-use plastics, Trump was doing the opposite, mocking the idea that pollution was a real concern. He even brushed off questions about ocean pollution, once joking that people are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times, as if that had anything to do with the issue at hand.
Interview for last night. Bret Baier asked Trump what is a pretty simple question, a layup, regarding his running mate, J.D. Vance.
Do you view Vice President J.D. Vance as your successor, the Republican nominee in 2028?
No, but he's very capable. I mean, I don't think that I think you have a lot of very capable people.
That is colder than Melania's side of the bed. That is... Pretending to think about it for a minute.
The bigger issue isn't just about straws, it's about leadership. When a president dismisses environmental concerns as a joke, it sets a dangerous precedent. It sends a message that pollution doesn't matter, that protecting the planet is something to laugh about. And for many people, that's the real problem. It's not just about whether a paper straw gets soggy, it's about whether leaders take responsibility for the world they're leaving behind. At the end of the day, this isn't just about straws. It's about what kind of leadership people want. Do they want someone who listens to experts or someone who turns serious issues into punchlines? That's the real debate.
It was rigged. I hate Taylor Swift in all capital letters. What's more American than Taylor Swift? Nobody. Talking about Governor Whitmer, he was asking for federal help. He wouldn't return her phone call because she hurt his feelings. Can you think of anything more un-American? Shit all over Obamacare, promising that any week release his health care plan. And next week, we're going to have something very shortly. It's like nothing you've ever seen, except it never fucking came. We love our country so much, stop fucking shitting on it. I'm like Ali right now. Make America great, let's stop all this hate. Love America again.
Dave Bautista and Jimmy Kimmel aren't just cracking jokes, they're making a point. Through humor, facts, and direct criticism, they're calling out what they see as Trump's failures, from his ego-driven politics to his bizarre policy decisions.
Now, today is perhaps a big day for you because Nikki Haley just announced that she is pulling out of the race, which clears the path for former President Donald Trump to become the Republican nominee. You've called him your muse. Is this a good day for you?
One of the most fun parts of my job is knowing that he hates being made fun of and making fun of him, and then every once in a while he reminds us that he hates it and he gets mad. So I love that. You know, if I'm Nikki Haley, I'm just kind of waiting for him to go to prison, and if that happens, which is possible, then I'm going to jump right back into it. Yeah.
If he is the president again, does that scare you for another 4 years of late night monologues?
I'm more worried about the country than my monologues. I can always find something to talk about and something funny, and I just cannot believe that anyone thinks it would be a good idea to put him back in the White House.
Is it safe to say that you would not have him on your show for an interview?
No, I would absolutely have him on the show. There are a lot of questions I would like to ask him, and I would like to get actual answers. I think most of the interviews that he does don't require those.
Whether it's Bautista exposing Trump's fake tough guy act or Kimmel highlighting his nonsense speeches, both are urging people to pay attention and take action. Celebrities have influence, but real change comes from voters. If you care about leadership that actually works, your voice matters. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.